So we want to welcome everybody who's online and in person. And I don't know that I need the AI companion. Yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Okay, so I believe we're recording.
Yeah, some people might have, but whoever wants one. And we also have our place bookmark that have really
Okay.
good websites on the back. So help yourself. Oh, yes. Do something up here.
Wow. It's 7 o'clock. We love the hum in the room, and it's probably time to start pretty soon for those of you who are online and those of you who are in the room. We're glad to have you all. We have a wonderful demonstration tonight. And Tamera, thank you for coming. And we want to, Scott usually thanks the church for allowing us to use the facility. We really are grateful for that and grateful for all of you. So welcome and let's get started.
Okay, thank you, everybody, for coming. My name is Tamera Wilhite, and I'm a Food for Life plant-based cooking instructor. And so I will be sharing my story with you and how I came to eat a plant-based diet. But first, I need to get one of the recipes going. So everybody should have a copy of the recipes in case you want to follow along. It's two-sided. We're gonna start with the cheese sauce. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Instapot, I'll explain it a little bit, but you don't have to have an Instapot to make the recipe. So if you don't have an Instapot and it says in the recipe, you're just gonna simmer these things until they're very fork tender and fall apart so that they can blend it up together. So what we have is half a cup of cashews. I get the raw, unsalted cashews, organic from Costco. So they have a big container. And then to that, we're gonna have 2 cups of water. And then 2 cups, which is usually 2 potatoes and 2 carrots roughly. The good thing about this recipe, it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't measure the onion, for example. I'm just gonna put the whole thing in because you can't really have too much onion. The cool thing about the Instapot is I can just chop things roughly because the Instapot's gonna do the work for me while I'm doing other things. So just chop. These things are gonna cook together and then we're gonna blend them with some other ingredients. All right, so we got potatoes, onions, carrots, cashews. So also already cooking, I have some organic whole grain brown rice. I also get that in a giant bag at Costco. I don't own stock in Costco, Trader Joe's, Instapot, or Vitamix. I wish I did. Okay, so we're gonna put manual pressure for 3 minutes. And the rice, of course, you can cook in a rice cooker or on the stove. however you like to cook rice. I enjoy the Instant Pots because
This lady.
and while I'm making the sauce, everything just takes care of itself. And then it will shut off the cooking cycle.
Hawaii, Florida, or somewhere.
You don't think it's a fake background?
Maybe it is. But the waves are.
Yeah.
You do. That's okay. Okay, so this is my mom, by the way, just in case you see me like looking at her all the time, that's the reason. So I just want to share
Okay, bye-bye.
about my personal story. Again, thank you all for coming. When I was in my early 20s, I started having problems with my vision. I couldn't keep my eyes open in the bright sunlight. It was getting difficult to see things like the digital clock on the VCR, different things like that. I had a 2-year-old son. I was working for UPS, and I thought, oh, I guess I need glasses. So I went to the eye doctor. Never really been to the eye doctor before. So our eye doctor came in, he was looking and looking and looking, scooting back, scooting in, getting this, getting that. And I'm like, wow, this is really taking a long time. So finally, he asked me if I had any relatives with an eye disease in the family. And I'm like, I don't really think so. And he said, well, I'm concerned that you may have macular degeneration and I need you to come back tomorrow for some additional testing. And I had no idea what that was. I went home, came back. At that time, they shot dye into your arm and took pictures of your eyes. So at this point, I did get a hold of my mom. We came back and he said that I definitely did have macular degeneration. So leading cause of blindness, usually you don't get it until you're older. So for somebody my age, it was really rare. And we were like, well, maybe, it's not that bad, or she doesn't really have it. So he went out and came back in, put up on the screen, healthy eyeball, and then mine. And it looked like mine had been snowed on. There were just all these little deposits, which I later learned are called drusen, little tiny droplets of fat and cholesterol. So I went to a specialist in Portland, my mom and I did, and his bedside manner was not the greatest. And we were hopeful, we were so excited to get some hope, find out what we could do. And he basically said there was nothing that could be done. I would be blind by the time I was 40, not able to drive, read a book, recognize faces. That was it for me. So that was pretty discouraging, but lucky for me, I came back to my original eye doctor, and he said that nobody should make that type of prediction, first of all. And second, he said when he was still at the university, they were doing research on the importance of nutrition on eye health and that it was looking good. So he encouraged me to stay away from smoke, protect my eyes in the sun, and eat all kinds of fruits and vegetables. So I started studying my disease. At that time, there was no internet. So I just read books, all the books that I could find on macular degeneration, nutrition, and I started learning that I was eating a diet primarily of meat, cheese, processed food. Processed food was really like Keebler cookies, frozen meals, pastaroni that you dump the pasta, the packet, the milk, and you stir it up, and that's it. I was eating that type of stuff, and maybe an occasional banana here or there, but I really wasn't eating any vegetables or anything like that. So I thought to myself, I learned that only animal products contain cholesterol and they contain a lot of fat. And I learned that plant foods have no cholesterol at all and has something called fiber, which helps grab onto excess cholesterol, excess fat, excess toxins, all these things, helps your body rid that out of your system. So I wondered, what if I stop eating fat and cholesterol? You know, will that stop the drusen from being formed? What if I start eating all of these foods that I've learned are full of antioxidants, phytochemicals, which act as life jackets to every cell in your body. Like I learned that beta carotene can actually build a wall behind your eye, your retina, that blocks the harmful UV light, like it helps. So that's what I started doing. I remember starting out, going to Winco Bear Mart at that time, just loading my grocery cart full of everything, all the fruits and vegetables that lived in. And I got home, maybe I had a banana and an apple, but most of it all went in the trash. And it really wasn't that great, and it really wasn't satisfying. But I decided to go to the farmer's market, and that changed everything. Because at the farmer's market, I was getting food that was basically grown here, you know, picked today. And I learned that food like apples aren't supposed to be perfect looking, all the same size, all the same colors, that fruit and vegetables, you know, they look different. It's okay if they have blemishes. And I found that it's really rare that I get something from the farmer's market that's not absolutely delicious. So today, for example, I got a cantaloupe like this. You smell it and it smells like cantaloupe. Like, and he's like, I'll have watermelon next week. I will see you next week. And they have orange watermelons, yellow watermelons, tangerine, dream watermelons, red watermelons, round ones, long ones, football looking ones, same thing with cantaloupe and peppers and all these different things. And so slowly but surely I did change my diet, and now my disease has not progressed. And I go in rarely now. I used to go in, you know, once a year. Now I go in like once every 5 or 10 years, and I'm good. And as some of you may know, no offense, the medical establishment is kind of behind in the research. So just because it doesn't, you can't find a study that says nutrition is helpful for macular degeneration, cataracts, glaucoma, that doesn't mean that they can't help you. So here is a study now that you can look at in PubMed that tells the association between high fruits and vegetable diet helping eyesight and high cholesterol, high fat diets harming it. So for those of you who are interested, it's there. And then it's also fun, some of the things we're gonna eat tonight or that you're interested in. Now we have Google, we can just literally Google the benefits of parsley. It's high in vitamin C, which is good at helping you absorb other vitamins and minerals. It's high in fiber. Cilantro is a great chelator, which means it grabs a hold of heavy metals and helps get rid of it. So that is fun. Also recipes galore. So if you want to eat plant-based or vegan type diet, you can literally just type in vegan cheese sauce. And I will tell the truth, it's not going to be like cheese, right? So that is a difficult thing. Cheese is very difficult to replace what we're used to. But once you change your diet, you will start appreciating the flavors of the subtle flavors of all the different foods. And you can come to love this cheese sauce. So I just encourage you to do that. We also try to reduce, or I don't cook with oil at all. So anytime you're sauteing, tonight we'll be making a sauteed kale. And I've got a really nice nonstick pan. I'll just turn it on. I'm not used to working with a gas stove, so I'll do my best not to burn it. But once the pan is hot, I'll saute the red onion in there. And then once it's starting to stick a little bit, then I'll saute the garlic briefly to not burn it. This garlic will burn easily. And then I have this big bunch of kale, which I've chopped most of it up. And I'll rinse it really good and dump it in there. Put a little of this tamari, shoyu, soy sauce, just a touch. And let it cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'll take the lid off of it and squeeze some lemon juice over the top. And hopefully you will all love it. Because kale is at the top of this list here for lutein and the other thing about kale is, so if you want to have like a raw kale salad, if you like massage your kale, that will help take away the toughness and some of the bitterness, and you can massage in some lemon juice. Or I did give you what's called a ranches dressing, and it's a VP sauce. These dressings can be used however you want. You can make a kale salad out of them. You can make rice and beans and put that over the top for your dressing. So these are just some versatile sauces that I wanted you to be able to have. It is good if you can soak your cashews for a few hours. That way they soften up and they blend easily, especially if you don't have a Vitamix blender. So I wanted to show you the kale. There's all different kinds of kale: green kale, curly kale, Russian kale, dinosaur kale. Try all the different kinds of kale. And what you can do is just strip it off. And that way you don't, some people, like I'm sure Charlie, where is Charlie? I'll give this to him. He'll eat this. Like, don't let him see me throw it in the trash. So, and then just chop the rest of it up. Yeah.
She lost the sound. Really.
Kale is very good side dish. It's also really good on top. So generally, oh yeah. So the physicians committee, I didn't talk about that much. But one thing they're working on is changing the plate to what they call the power plate. So having whole grains, vegetables, legumes, and fruits on your plate. So generally, I start with brown rice and beans, or potatoes and beans. And there's all kinds of beans: pinto beans, black beans, kidney beans, red beans. Try all of them, see what you like. Same thing with potatoes. Farmers market right now, they have beautiful, very yummy purple potatoes, gold potatoes, yellow potatoes, little red potatoes. Just try all the different things and see which ones you like. Okay, so this has got 3 more minutes and our rice looks like it's done. But the pressure is not down yet. So some of the things that are going to go in our cheese sauce.
No.
Okay, so I kind of put everything in my bowl here to make it simple.
No.
Everybody familiar with nutritional yeast? Anybody not know what that is or where to get it? So nutritional yeast, it's not yeast like you cook with, it's a yellow flaky, which you can get at Trader Joe's prepackaged. And I get it at Sundance in a big bag, and then I put it in a container. There's also just 1 teaspoon of salt in the entire recipe. And then there is this Kala Namak, which is Indian black salt. And this you can either get online, or I go to the Indian food store, which is on like 29th and almost Wilhite. And this is gonna give it kind of a sulfury type of flavor. So, yeah, this is salt free, although they call it black salt, it is not salt. It's not black either. So I can't explain, oh, I had a student who explained it, she said it's the translation. It was lost in the translation, but I don't know, that's it. And then, turmeric, which always add a little black pepper to that because it helps you absorb all the goodness that turmeric offers. Onion and garlic granules. So I like the granules instead of the powder because if you have onion powder, it can turn into a hard block pretty quickly. So, but onion powder, garlic powder, or the granules. And forgive me, I did not put this on your recipe, but there is half a teaspoon of smoked paprika also. And you can leave it out. You can adjust this recipe to anything you like. So if you wanted to add some red pepper that gives it a spicy kick, you can.
My class.
What was that called?
Smoked paprika. Also, I'll leave these things here. So if you want to come take a picture or take a look at it. And then the other thing that we're gonna have in our blender, soy milk. This is my favorite soy milk, organic, non-dairy soy milk from Trader Joe's, because it's water and organic soybeans and that's it. So when you are eating soy products, tofu, soy milk, I do encourage you to always get organic with soy. And then Dijon or regular mustard, we're gonna have regular mustard, and then miso. So this is a fermented, this one is soybeans, I think. And these come in different colors, red miso, white miso, just kind of depending on what you're gonna make. This one I got at Sundance, and it's just a paste that gives it kind of an umami or salty type flavor, but it's salt free.
What's the soy sauce in place of the 2 cups of water?
Oh, this?
The soy.
Oh, the soy milk. Oh,
Soy
no, and I'll be going through this, but the soy milk is going in the blender with the mix. And then the 2 cups of water was for heating up the vegetables.
I don't see the soy milk proportion. Where's, how much?
Oh, you're not? Okay, 1/3 a cup.
Oh.
So sorry about that. I'll have to fix that on my recipe. 1/3 cup of soy milk. Also, if you have questions when you're making these recipes about anything, how much soy milk, where did you get the miso? What was that weird salt? That's not salt. Just email me and I'll respond and let you know as soon as I can.
What's miso? What is it?
It's fermented soybean, usually soybean paste.
Okay, thank you. Is it refrigerated or no?
Yes, it is. Oh, this one is rice. So this one is a fermented rice paste. But they do also have soy-based ones. This one I get at Sundance in the refrigerated section. And they should have me sell, although I don't know if Trader Joe's has it, but other places should have
I've
it.
also seen it at Winco.
If you didn't share your email, Tamara's profile is on the website, on the livelifestylemedicine.com website, in the About Us section, her profile and her email is there.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start putting, so generally, oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, if you do really enjoy this recipe or any other recipe that you make that has like separate ingredients, so as you're making the recipe for yourself, you can get containers out. And as you put the ingredients in the blender to make today's, you can have 2 or 3 glass bowls or jars or container. So that next time you make this, all you have to do is grab it and dump it. You don't have to measure everything out. Again, I'm not gonna worry too much about okay, and so we got our, and then the lemon juice, I do encourage you to use fresh lemon juice just because it really does make the flavor pop. So you can get one of these handy dandies, and if you take your lemon and you roll it around, that'll help you get the max juice out of it. And then if you're afraid you're not gonna use it in time, you can keep it in the refrigerator. So we'll dump that in there.
You know, I lived for many, many years before I learned the way you squeeze the lemon is to do it backwards.
Yeah, wait and see if I do it right.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
sure you do that.
Well, no, yeah, because it's not intuitive, right? It's
Right.
like the opposite from what you think, but we'll see if I, okay, so then I'm just gonna dump all of this in here. I'm just gonna get it mixed up. Ooh. Oh, I can go ahead and turn that off, actually. So the cheese sauce that we're gonna have today, we're gonna use it as a topping on top of our rice and beans. But it's also really good if you like the traditional macaroni and cheese. You can get organic pasta from Costco and a lot of other places. It's really good like that.
I wanted to ask you what kind of pasta you used last time when you cooked the broccoli and fettuccine.
Oh, it was fettuccine noodles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that those are the ones I got from the grocery outlet, which they have a lot of pastas right now that are all organic.
What kind was it? I mean, like.
I believe it was fettuccine. Oh, the exact brand.
Well, no, I mean, like there's rice noodles.
Oh, yeah, it was traditional organic pasta.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, so Usually I'm eating a plate which starts out with the rice and beans or potatoes and beans, and I make a bowl out of it. And I like to just add what I call toppings. We're gonna have salsa, so I didn't bring tomatoes, but like right now they have the yellow, sun gold and red and all these cherry tomatoes that would have been really good on it. This is very spicy arugula. So, Mom, you might not appreciate it, but sometimes it mellows out when you're eating it with a big bowl of other things. It's really nice. And also you can take salad or salad mix that you chop up and put that in the bottom of your bowl. Or you can just, I'll be chopping this up for you to just put a sprinkle on your bowl and feel free to try it. I just kind of like think to myself, when something's really spicy or bitter or hot, it's extra good for me. So that's how I finish eating it. So this is the cilantro I got today at the farmer's market. It's beautiful. And then the parsley. And they also had basil, which basil is fun to pull off the leaves, stack them up, roll them together, and then just slice them up. And then you have these really beautiful strips of flavor to just sprinkle over the top of anything. I wanted to tell you the best way to store some of these things. So I have a wet paper towel that's all along the root of these, and that generally helps them stay pretty well. They go in the fridge. I do have reusable silicone plastic. I try to minimize my use of this, but this can be used over and over again. And then basil likes to be cut off at the bottom and then set in some water like flowers. And then the bag it came in over the top and set in the counter out of the sun. That seems to help it last longer. And then what do you do with your herbs that are almost?
Oh, so you can, what I do is chop and spread out on a cookie sheet on a piece of parchment paper and stick them in the freezer if I know that I'm not gonna be able to use them all the time. And it's unbelievable to me once I figured that out. It smells like that's fresh and it tastes so good. And maybe it's not beautiful, but you can put it in salads or soups or your smoothie or whatever. Lots of things I do that with them. Or anything you can just chop and.
So you put it in the freezer and then take them out and put them, you can't. You have to freeze them.
So when I meet, like this morning, I just took a bunch of lettuce that I had chopped and frozen because I wasn't getting to it when it was fresh, and arugula and mavis and beets. Or I just throw them in pretty much like if I'm having beans and rice, I can just unfreeze it and throw it in any soup or stew or bowl. And it's not as beautiful as when it's fresh, but it's using it up and it's delicious.
I think she also means after you freeze it on the baking sheet and put it in a bag, right?
Oh, yeah. So after I freeze it on the baking sheet on a piece of parchment paper, I just get a bag and slide it right into the bag, and you can create space. You know, it doesn't take up much space in the freezer because it's sort of like vacuum packed.
The other thing is actually parsley. Parsley folds up really well, so you can chop it up into little pieces like we're doing and just mix it into your rice and have rice with a bunch of parsley in it, and you most likely won't even really notice it. Cilantro will be more tender, so it's kind of better served as like a topping on anything. And then, do you guys know what cruciferous vegetables are? Yeah. Really, really good cancer fighters, and arugula is actually a cruciferous vegetable.
She's so cold. They get along.
Not really, honestly, but let's think, what could we put in there instead? We would just need to find a flavor profile that, let me think about that a little. But yeah. Yeah, I know some people can't eat nutritional yeast, but it really is a kind of cheesy type flavor. If anybody has any ideas.
Cheese.
Who said that? Let's see.
My focus.
Oh, yeah, Neil. You know what? At least I would Google vegan cheese sauce without nutritional yeast. That's what I would do. And then if somebody like is, you know, techie, maybe they could do that for us and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so with the kale, I'm gonna start cooking the kale. I'm just gonna rinse it really well, and then I'm just gonna kind of pat it out so it's not soaking, but I'm gonna leave quite a bit of water on it. That way it's gonna help it steam.
What kind of pan do you have a recommendation for a pan without PFOAs that?
So this is what's called a scan pan, SCAN. Lucky for me, I got the biggest one, which means I can cook a lot in it, but unlucky for me, this thing is heavy. So I don't suggest getting the biggest one unless, but I cook my banana oatmeal pancakes in here. I'm gonna be able to get a huge bunch of kale. I can make a huge stir fry. Just, I use it, but it is heavy. And this gets hot. So that's really not fun. So when you're trying to carry it around, but it is a very good pan and they come in all different kinds of sizes. It's expensive. I would say it's expensive, but it will last forever. I take good care of it and I've had it for a really long time. And there's no weird smells when I cook. And
Where did you get the thing?
I believe I got this on Amazon.
I looked up Google, you know, cheese sauce without nutritional yeast and it says white miso.
It did.
Yeah.
White miso. Thank you.
I just want to redeem myself after saying cheese.
So I'll just wait until I feel like the pan is hot. Sometimes I get a little water and just flick it on there to see when it's getting nice and warm before I put the kale in.
What kind of stove do you use at home?
I just have a regular electric.
Okay. Yeah. Scan pan is a great induction pan. Yeah. And,
Yeah, people really like it. I really, not really, like, oh, yes.
So, we're gonna use a red onion. The other thing is, if you're gonna be eating a lot of plant-based meals, having the right tools and equipment really does help. So I do have two food processors at home, a small one and a large one. That way I can use the S-blade to really quickly chop onions instead of having to chop. Or, the garlic. I use a little chopper, a small one. That way I can chop a large amount of garlic at once instead of trying to press it or chop it by hand. Also, if you're in a hurry, if you are like these guys who work all day and volunteer all night every day, like, it's okay to get the big thing of chopped up garlic at Costco. It's okay to use canned beans if that's what works for you. Frozen vegetables are great. The most important thing is trying to eat a variety of whole food as much as you can in any way that you like, and that's the most important thing. So, I'm gonna put my lemon in like that. Is that the right way to do it? The other thing that would be really good to add to this is mushrooms. So after I get the onion sauteed a little bit, I would just put in sliced mushrooms. And you don't need any oil. The onion's releasing its own water. However, if something does start sticking, you can just put a splash of water in there, no problem. Mushrooms usually start out completely dry and then they release their juice into the pan. And then after the mushrooms are cooked, then I would put the kale on top. I probably could have made 2 red onions for this one. If anybody is interested in Instapots, they do have 3 different sizes, a really small one, a medium, and a larger than that one. And generally, they go on really good sale, like Black Friday, Christmas, several different times in the year. The Instapots will go on sale on Amazon. I do suggest sticking with the original Instapot brand. If you do use them. Okay, so the red onion is starting to stick pretty well.
It's too slow.
Down a little. All right, I'm gonna try not to make a mess. That is a lot of kale. And I'm just gonna put it in slash. And you do have to buy the lid for the scan pan separately. What did you just put on there? I put on.
It's a more.
3 minutes, Mom. 7:48, I'll check the, yeah. Always stops, and they do make tamari, which is gluten free. You can use coconut aminos, anything that you like. Okay, so the kale seems to be steaming pretty well in there.
Where do you find the tamari?
I usually get that at Sundance Natural Foods on Hilliard Street.
We use a low sodium 50% off.
You can, this one is not.
Yeah.
And you can also get it in bulk at Sundance, and probably some other places as well. And just refill your existing bottles. So, after I started changing my diet, I continued to research a lot of different things. And, that's when I found the Physicians Committee. They had a cancer project, is what I found there, and then that's how I became involved with them. But what I learned was basically this diet that helped my eyes is the same diet that will help you reduce your risk for heart disease, help you reduce getting type 2 diabetes, will help you with basically the lifestyle diet killers of our society right now. So it's really pretty cool that the same diet can help prevent cancer.
For a name for that diet?
Well, that is up for the debate. That can get some debates going, but I'll call it the whole food plant-based diet, because some people will call it the vegan diet, which is great. Vegan meaning you don't eat any animal products, which I don't. But there's a lot of vegan junk food, like especially now. Back when I first started there, I couldn't even find soy milk. Now you get soy milk, almond milk, hazelnut milk, macadamia milk, fill in the blank, plant milk, right? But back in the day, no. But there's also now vegan Oreos, vegan ice cream. So the difference between the vegan ice cream usually and the regular is what it's made of, but it still could have a lot of fat, sometimes a lot of saturated fat from the coconut milk. But you can make, you can make your own banana ice cream in this, or a yo-yo mama's machine, or a ninja cream swirl machine.
Oh, did you see that hint?
So, cooking, this kale looks very beautiful and vibrant green. I definitely do not want to overcook it.
Did you massage that kale first?
I did not, because I was gonna cook it. But if I was gonna eat it raw, I would massage it. That still needs a little bit. Okay, 2 minutes. That's pretty chewy. So, basically just trying to eat for your health and eating to live instead of living to eat, which I live to eat. And so my mom taught me that. So when I'm eating breakfast, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat for lunch and what I'm gonna eat for lunch. And so, yeah, and I'm not perfect either. Like Morning Glory has the best vegan pastries. I don't suggest you go and try them because otherwise you're gonna wanna go to Morning Glory and get the pastries. But if you give up the cheese, it'll be about 21 days before you don't miss it anymore. Anybody, did you give cheese up? And when did you feel like I don't care about,
It was about that long.
was it?
Yeah, it took a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
but
now I don't think about it.
you don't think about it.
It is up several times.
Yeah.
Do you know or have you tried making chips without oil? Do you know? Without oil. How did you make them?
You just sprinkle nutritional yeast on it and stick them. The thing is, okay, so you can make kale chips 2 ways. One in an oven, very little, but they're dehydrated. I happen to have it dehydrated because you guys don't need it. No, it is. And so you just sprinkle a little bit of nutritional yeast on, maybe make a little slurry of nutritional yeast or miso, even something like that, and sort of it takes a while. And then roll them into little pieces. That would make a slurry of something rather than just. I haven't had much success with just a slurry of nutritional yeast and miso.
Why?
I use white. I did mine at actually at Minco. Yeah. And because white is the mildest flavor and soy miso. And then just sort of rub it in. You don't want to massage it a lot. And if your pieces are about that big, and put it in, you can do it dehydrated oven. But yeah.
If anyone likes local, we just saw there's a new vendor at the farmer's market selling miso, local made miso.
Yeah.
Okay, I really think 1 more minute. So the different kales too, these curly kales are tougher. Like if you're familiar with the long green leaf dinosaur kale, that's a lot mellower to some people and softer. So you just kind of learn as you go what works best. But the rice looks great. And as soon as the kale's done, I'll transfer that into here so that everybody can try. If you use up this, I'll chop some more up. So don't worry about that. Feel free to take pictures of anything. This power plate bookmark has some really useful PCR websites on the back of it. So you can take this with you. There's a 21-day kickstart that you can sign up either on your phone or on your email, and they'll send you a menu plan, grocery list, 21 days of meals to give you an idea of what you can eat. 1 minute. Okay.
Is mom gonna buy you that ninja for Christmas this year?
It's really expensive. Yeah. I would have bought it for myself, except it's really expensive. Okay, so I discovered what I forgot, which was my oven mitts.
What ninja are you talking about?
Oh, there's a Ninja Creamy. Did I just bring one? There's a Ninja Creamy where you fill a canister you blend up any type of fruit that you want in the blender, and then you pour it into these canisters and you freeze them for 24 hours. And then you hook it onto the machine and it makes plant-based ice cream like actual ice cream. The thing about the swirl is you can put it out like the traditional swirl, which I don't actually really need, right? Okay, I'm just gonna grab this very hot.
I don't need to.
What's
I
that?
just learned, I didn't realize there is a folder with a handle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know, I see, we're not too old.
I taught a cooking class for kids, and we made this recipe at school. And so they had chopped up all the vegetables and put it in here. They just love cooking, but they were like, no way, is this gonna be cheese sauce? So then, when I had one of the kids turn it on, you could just hear them all go, wow. So the only thing about this is it's loud, so if you wanna. So, this sauce will thicken up. So usually, like, if my niece is over and she wants no cheese and carrot dogs, I'll make her the organic macaroni, pour this in, make her mac and cheese. And then I still have like at least one large jar left. So then I can just put that in the fridge and just use it however. So it does make a really good amount. And then.
How long does it last in the fridge?
Probably like a week. Yeah, it will mold, but yeah, I usually label it and I use it within the week.
Can you freeze it?
What's that?
Can you freeze it?
I bet you can. I bet you could freeze it. I haven't, but have you? Yeah, okay, yeah, I can freeze it. All right, so are we like,
So there's not much room here, we thought we would put everything out here.
oh, okay. Great.
And just, you can come to the table and get a.
I think so, yeah. Do you want me to bring the rice over there?
Whatever is easiest for you, Tamara, and people just, like in a circle around the island and.
So we can leave the cheese sauce and the toppings over here. I don't, people can come, get their rice, get their kale, get their beans.
Yeah,
Do you see my rice towel? Mom, do you see my rice towel? I That's weird. Yeah, it's really is. That's what I love.
I'm not gonna make sure everybody's.
So parsley, cilantro, parsley, arugula, green onion. For the topping. Yeah. And then. Carrot cooked in the brine, and the instant pot, that comes out like a hot dog. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that out
I
of
was
the way.
thinking somebody might trip on.
Thank you.
Insurance adjuster.
Oh, good, perfect.
40 years.
Very, very good. So for those of you who are online, I know you're sad not being able to partake in the food, but we'll probably end the session right now. And you can hear next week the rave reviews about what it tastes like from some of the participants perhaps. So anyway, glad that you could all make it. There's not going to be any other educational stuff, so we're going to let you go. Thank-
I was gonna ask you, is it possible to get the recipe?
Is it possible to get the recipe? I think it is, and so we'll talk with Tamera, and we could have Scott post it on the website or whatever, okay?
That'd be great, okay.
Okay, we will pass that information along.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks for everybody coming, and we'll catch you next week. I think it's Dr. Linsmeyer who's going to be talking on cardiology next week, so it should be good also.
Thank you.
Have a good week, everybody.
Okay, you too, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good job, I forgot it was there.
No. Is it good? Yeah.